So there's like a whole bunch of solar flares and geomagnetic activity, and the Italian Schumans are going off. All kinds of stuff going on right now, and I'm feeling it. And it is more than past due for me to refill my herbs that I take daily. So I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. We're not really going anywhere. I already went to the herb shop and loaded up on the ones I was missing, and I'm gonna show you how I do what I do. This is the stash, the haul today. So we've got corn silk. This is good for your liver, your kidneys, heart, brain. There's so many good things corn silk's good for. Red raspberry leaf. You want this for the womb. There's a lot of, these all have multiple benefits, so don't make me go through them all. I don't have the energy. Dong Quai, Angelica, I don't know, I can't get them to focus. But these are like these big chunky roots. So we're gonna grind all this up in my favorite grinder ever. I'll show you in a second. And some licorice root. Echinacea. Echinacea is good for so many things, not just when you have a cold. Oh, and I also got some butterfly pea flowers because my plants are very small and far away from producing these, and I wanted to make purple tea. And they're good for you. And then a fuck ton of Vitex berry or chaste berries. They're just these little berries. Black cohosh. So I already made a batch of this, but I figured I might as well make another one and make a video and show you guys. So did I tell you that part already? And then I've got some redwood tips here that we're gonna throw in because why not? Yarrow, passion flower, really, really good for the nervous system. Some cat's claw, good for, oh God, so many things. Anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-cancer, antiviral, stimulates the immune system, useful for arthritis, rheumatism, as well as diabetes, chronic fatigue, prostate problems, and AIDS. It is a pain reliever, detoxifier, and blood cleanser. We all need to be detoxing and blood cleansing right now. Cleanses the bowels and protects the cells. Cat's claw. And then we're gonna go get some herbs from the drying rack. Hang on. All right, so in here we've got redwood tips, corn silk tops, cleavers, and some nettle, but I can't, the nettle's not dry yet. And we also have a few of these, calendula. Cleavers. Cleavers are an amazing detoxer, good for the liver, the kidneys, the heart, the brain. What? Cleavers are good for everything. These grow everywhere outside my house. So we just keep an eye on when they're ready to harvest, and then we harvest them. And there's always a second growth of these too. So once you harvest them, they come back. Okay, so there's some of these things are fluffy. See how this stuff's fluffy? The cat's paw and the cleavers, they're very fluffy and very a little dusty. That's medicine, don't waste that shit. And the red raspberry leaves, fluffy, and nettle, all fluffy and fibery. Fibrous? Fibery? I don't fucking know. Anyways, we're gonna save those for a second batch. Those are going in a separate because those don't blend as easy. Hang on, let me get my grinder. Okay, I actually already ground up some cat's claw. Let me show you. So it's not gonna focus, huh? This is cat's claw, raspberry leaf, nettle. And I forgot to put cleavers in here. But see how fluffy it is? So it's hard to swallow like this. So I just take the powder though and swallow it. But these are a little bit more difficult to swallow. So these would be better in a capsule. I don't recommend if you're not good at swallowing things, swallowing this stuff. But it's just very fluffy and fibrous but also very easy to compact. And you could totally mix them with like a little bit of coconut oil and make little pills to swallow. See what I'm doing? Doesn't matter how you get in your body, just get it in your body. Seriously, for a lot of these, it really doesn't matter, just as long as you get them in your body. For me, I could capsule all these up. Once I grind them up, I could capsule them up. And that takes forever when I could just take a little teaspoon of it and add some water and swish it around and swallow it. Sometimes it's not the funnest thing to do, but it's so much easier than capsuling them all up. And then I don't want to be eating a bunch of gel capsules if I don't have to be. So this works for me. So here's what the grinder looks like empty. And then I have no idea how to do this with one hand, so we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna put some passion flower in there. I measure with my heart because I know how my body's going to respond to these, but maybe start with understanding what the doses that you want are of them. I kind of have been doing this for years, so, and I'm making these just for me. If I was making these for someone else, I would be measuring the dosage of each different herb. Okay, next we got some yarrow, which is fluffy and technically should go with the cleavers and other shit, but we're just gonna wing it today because we just don't have time for this shit or energy. So we got lots of yarrow in there. And then we also are gonna have some, hang on, licorice root, dawn quad, angelica, chastity berries. Normally I would just take spoonfuls of these or handfuls of them and swallow them with some water because they actually taste, I like the taste of them, but for shits and giggles, we're going to put it in the blend. Black cohosh, because if you know, you know, and if you're having any kind of reproductive issues as a woman, this can be incredibly helpful. It's also great for a whole bunch of other things. And then I forgot to record, but I put the rest of this in there, which is qi xiao yao. It's a red peony, and it's really, really good for so many things, especially detoxing the liver, normalizing liver function. So any of you guys with those kinds of issues, or any of these, because it also helps with so many other things. So that's in there. And I'm also using some Ayurvedic and Chinese herbs, and you should not use these unless you know what you're doing and use proper dosages. I really do like this one. Actually, I think this one's pretty much safe. But before you use any of these, you're in charge and you need to look them up. Put that bitch in there. You don't really need to put the powder in here. I usually just add the powder at the end, but whatever. We don't care. It's not that serious. Okay, and then somebody gave us this, and it's like my favorite thing I've ever been gifted, ever. You should get one of these. I have no idea where to get them from. Probably on Amazon. Who the fuck knows? They're fucking awesome, though. It's gonna be loud for a second. Ready? Make sure she's closed. Not long enough, but I forgot redwood tips, and I feel like putting them in there. You want to see? Okay, so this is just after a few seconds, but those are very hard. That's going to be hard to swallow like that, so we're going to keep grinding it till it's much smoother. Redwood tips. I think that's good. Twist, push. And then this is me, I forgot to say this, but this is me infusing some energy and thanking the medicine and telling it what I need it to do, because that is the most important part of all of this. And I highly recommend you do that while you're doing this. And before you take any medicine or anything, put anything in your body, you should infuse it with the energy, gratitude, and things you want it to do, and it will return the favor. You can kind of hear when it gets smoother, right? And before you open this, let it sit for a second, especially depending on what you're grinding, because it gets all powdery and you don't necessarily want to inhale them to get them into your body. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there, kids. I like to give it a stir. I'm just using my fingers because it's for me and it's going in my body and they're my fingers and it's fine. But I wouldn't be using my fingers if this was for one of you guys, I promise. More infusing energy into it, because do that. Open, twist, and then slowly, because again, we don't want to inhale the herbs. That's not the best way to get them into your body. The lid on this is caked. So don't ever forget the lid. There's like fucking a lot on there. So I put those redwood tips and something else in there that was fluffy. That might make this a little bit fluffier. Then let me show you here. So this is, oh, I also added, but I threw the bag away. Manzanista Mangista root powder. Mangista. It's a Ayurvedic Indian herb. It's amazing for endometriosis and blood cleansing and a bunch of other things. I say that a lot. So this is a less fibery one. And I just literally take a teaspoon or even a pinch. Add a little water. Swallow. Great way to get this in your body. You might need a little more though. Let's take a little more. So it's so hard to get things on camera. I'm not a good videographer without tipping it, but I'm gonna take about that much. This is a giant tablespoon, but it's about a teaspoon of powder. That's it. You taste them, but they're not, these don't taste bad. Do not inhale as you do that, or you will get a throat full of powder and it's not great. So this one is a lot of what's in here. I'm actually gonna just mix all these together here in a second. But so let's see. I've got my funnel. Hold please. All my jars are wet right now. Hang on. I got this. We're just gonna put them in here for now. All my jars are wet and I don't want to dry them with paper towels, and all my towels are in the dryer, right? Okay. So we're just gonna. And here's the end result, which is the same shit that would be in a capsule if you bought it from the store. I lost the entire rest of that video, which is fine because it was way too long anyways. The point I was making in it though is that you don't need all of those plants. You don't need all those herbs. Any combination of those works. If I don't have something, I don't use it. If I need something, I go get it. I don't have milk thistle in there. I didn't talk about milk thistle or nettle too much, and those are my like regulars. But like, find what works for you. There's a bazillion herbs that can help. There's so many different plants. There's not just one. So don't like get wrapped up on trying to get all the ones that I listed in there, because it doesn't work that way. And different things resonate for different people, and different things are available, and different things are growing in the environment around you. And so find what resonates, what feels right, what makes sense to you, and give it a shot. And if you're going to do this though, make sure you check, like if you're on any medications, there's sometimes interactions with some of those. Check your dosages. Like I said, I think I said this in the video, I know my doses. I've been taking a lot of these for years, and they work. They help, like a lot. Pretty cool. Have a great day, you guys.